2, 1, let's go.
Try to run from the switch, we catch him. Dumb ass ain't make it too far. Whole lot of shots in the car. I shoot to the mall.
I'm in the cut with a up, tryna fuck me a buck. Gotta stick with a drum. They like, who that? I'm throwing shots, they tryna run. True it.
You start to freeze, and so it looks you right between the eyes.
Jumped off the bench and I turned into a star. I'm a baller. Anywhere I go, my gang, they know who we are.
You can't even see me on FaceTime. Bitch just asked if I'm the one to DM on the fence. That ain't me, bitch, that's fake John.
Money, Wally P, shout out my label, that's me. I own 100% of my cuts, bitch, nobody taking a
I had to go with another reaction video, man. Back at it again with another banger, man. First reaction video of the day, first banger of the day, man. You already know what the deal is, man. First reaction video of the day, first banger of the day, man. Today we got 6 most disturbing camping encounters caught on camera, man. This video is 23 minutes long, so let's get straight into them. But before we get into anything, we just reached 26K subs. So that subscriber shout out is coming. You already know what the deal is, man. Tracy Swan with 2 N's. Tracy Swan with 2 N's. Thank you for joining the squad. Thank you for joining the champions. Thank you for joining the journey, man. It's been a long one, bro. But 26K subs, big accomplishment. Man, let's just keep going up. The reaction videos by yours truly, Uni ENT, Uni Reacts, whatever you guys want to call me, man. We're going to keep going up, man. You already know what the deal is. You already know how we do, bro. But I hope you guys having a blessed day. Stay lit, stay on top of your grind. Last time get to that bag, go get that bag. We're going to go get it. Nobody going to get it for you, man. We got 2 kind of spooky reaction videos, I guess you can say. I don't even know if they're going to be scary or spooky, boy, because I haven't watched these shit yet. So we just going to have to see. We're going to have to guess. We're going to have to find out. If it's good, if it's bad, I don't know. But if it's bad, best believe I might not post it. But let's see what's going on, man. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Since 2017, a YouTuber named Phil has been uploading videos of his hiking trips to his channel Hike Slam, where he gives his viewers a glimpse into everything he does to prepare for a long hike, camp alone in the middle of the woods, choose the right hiking gear, and pretty much everything related to the outdoors. On the night before Thanksgiving 2021, Phil went on an overnight hike to camp on the Appalachian Trail near his house in Virginia. For the first half...
It's always, bro, I'm telling you, it's always when it's like, what is it? When it's, fuck, what is that shit called? When it's like a festivity going on, bro. Like, it's either when a festivity going on, 2 days before Christmas, 1 day after Christmas, a day before Thanksgiving. Like, what the... I don't know why people love to like do
things
shit
kick
like
off
this.
pretty normally, but after a while, he finds some odd-looking trash lying on the side of the trail. Strangely, there appears to be some writing on some of the containers he finds, which appear to be song lyrics, though it's hard to imagine why anyone would go through the trouble of writing out entire songs or poems on a plastic container only to later throw it on the side of the trail.
'Cause they're crazy.
As he crosses the boundary into the wilderness, things continue to get stranger and stranger, and as he nears the campsite, Phil finds another series of disturbing notes.
The weirdness continues.
Bro, what the fuck? That looks like whoever took them victims or some shit. Like, they were doing some weird shit.
And there's a dead duck here.
That's a sacrificial duck. And we're turning off the light to make this a little bit more scarier. We're turning off the lights to make this a little more scarier. You already know how we do, bro. We can't go out bad. We can't go out sad. So we gotta just keep going. Let's see what's going on, man.
Some of the notes appear to contain cryptic poems, others seem to talk about pretty in-depth conspiracy theories and undercover federal agents or something, and the rest appear to be biographical, with whoever wrote them telling parts of their story. It's tough to confirm if the person who wrote the notes was the same person who killed the duck, but honestly, it would be too much of a coincidence for the dead duck to be lying right there next to the series of creepy notes, which were obviously placed there recently considering they're in good condition and not wet. After taking in the eerie scene, Phil notices a tarp and a fire next to a campsite about 20 yards away from the notes and the dead duck. Staying as far away as possible from the campsite, he continues making his way up to a shelter. Although this next part wasn't caught on camera, Phil then reported that he saw 2 women coming down the trail with their dog, asking him if he had seen the guy who was leaving the creepy notes and dead animals on the side of the trail.
What the fuck?
When Phil mentioned he saw a campsite and a fire a few yards away from the notes, the woman got scared and asked him to walk back to their car with them. Thinking it was probably a good idea to move as far away as possible from the campsite anyway, Phil went back with them and then started hiking in the other direction to find a safer place to spend the night. Fortunately, the rest of his hike to the new shelter was a lot more uneventful for Phil, and once he got there, he was able to set up a camp for the night, light a fire, and enjoy his dinner miles away from the disturbing notes he found.
I'm pretty sure with these campsites, they're like first come, first serve. So like whoever gets there first gets to use it. So if you go there and someone just so happens to be there, done up, bro. Feel me?
A few minutes later, once it got dark, Phil decided to go into the shelter and check out the camp log and see some of the notes
But
and
Phil
stories
seemed
other
like a good
hikers had
guy.
left behind. And that's when things get extremely creepy again.
I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. I hang out by the fire. Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log where people write in their trail names and what's going on. They can write whatever they want in there. So it's kind of cool tradition here. So let's see what this one says.
Okay.
Little engine, back section. Hiking again finally. It's nice and little trail magic. Some comics and writing and stuff. Alright, let's see what's happened recently. Holy crap. Wait a second. Let me adjust the camera here. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here.
Oh, nah.
Even though the shelter where Phil's currently staying at is more than 2 miles away and on the other side of the road from the previous one, the handwriting in the camp log is exactly the same as the handwriting that was on the notes and garbage on the other side of the road. This is pretty disturbing in itself, but it gets even more so when Phil
Bro, he
starts to actually read some of the content in the logbook.
2018, while I was incarcerated at the Okaloosa County Jail. What the heck? In solitary confinement, I figured the following out. Refer to Isaiah 28:15 through 9. This is the same ramblings from the guy
Dude's crazy.
that was on the other side
That's
of the
all
river.
it
That's
is.
kind of scary. Kind of weird. Those women down there said they were going to call the police on the guy. Wow, this is weird. It's just like it goes in one direction, then immediately goes in a completely different direction. And there's just so much of it. Like this line up here. Think grave robbery in an attempt to obscure the reality of Little Mrs. Wolf. Content. Come up with some more of those wicked schemes, JB and company, so I can show some more of your true character.
The fact that there's a
What?
convicted felon walking around the woods leaving dark and weird notes all over the place is extremely concerning, and based on the kinds of stuff the guy is writing, he's probably not in his right mind. This could obviously be
he's
dangerous for
crazy.
Phil, especially since it's already pretty dark and he doesn't appear to have anything to defend himself with. As he gets ready to go to sleep in his tent, Phil
That's another thing. Why do people go to these places with nothing to fucking defend themselves? No gun, no stick, no, like, nothing. No weapon at all.
walks back to the shelter once
Make it
more,
make
where he finds
sense.
half a Gatorade bottle hanging from a string on the ceiling with a note in the same guy's handwriting that reads, "Watch out for Yeet Mouse. The dead do walk and talk." Understandably creeped out by yet another disturbing note, Phil
I'm
tries to
gone.
fall asleep in his tent, obviously a little on edge from everything that happened that day. The last thing you'd want to happen if you were in Phil's position would probably be to start hearing strange noises near the shelter in the middle of the night,
I'm
and that's
gone.
exactly what happened. While he was falling asleep, he heard something moving near the shelter, and as he poked his head out of the tent, he saw a single guy with a headlamp walking around the shelter. Not wanting to find out if it was the same guy who had been leaving notes, he quietly made his way back to the truck in the middle of the night, checking over his shoulder the entire way to make sure he wasn't being followed. Luckily, he made it back home safely, and as of 2024, he hasn't uploaded another video about the strange notes he found on the Appalachian Trail. It's pretty likely that dozens of other hikers after him came across the disturbing notes and the dead duck, but we'll probably never know who exactly the guy who wrote them was, or what he would have done if he ran into any unsuspecting campers.
You know what the Signs of a Psychopath is, bro? It starts with an animal. Then it starts being like little bigger things, more than a duck. Then it turns into a human. I learned that on one show. I forget what it was, but yeah, it's pretty disturbing.
Grizzly Gaz is a camping channel on YouTube consisting of dozens of videos featuring Gaz, the uploader, going on hiking and camping trips in the UK with his French bulldog named Fendi. In a lot of his videos, he goes camping in some pretty extreme conditions, and he often shows footage of his unexpected encounters with big animals in the middle of the woods. In April 2023, Gaz uploaded a video of a camping trip he made somewhere in the woods in the UK. The first part of the camping trip goes pretty much according to plan, with the footage showing Gaz setting up his tent and chopping wood to make a fire while his dog Fendi keeps him company as the sun begins to set. This next part wasn't shown in the footage, but as Gaz started to prepare his steak dinner over the fire, a random man in jeans and a coat approached his campsite and asked him for a beer and some food.
What the fuck?
Right, we've got steaks on go now. Bit of ribeye, pot boiling for some mash, and I've got a visitor.
Nah, that
Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light in my pants. This is Martin anyway. I don't know him, but he's stopping for a steak, so...
Just some random crate wandering about.
You went round here in a poncho a couple of months ago, were you?
I don't think I was. I could have been.
That dude looks like he's all drunk.
Although
or
the
something.
encounter with the man itself was pretty tame, it's still pretty creepy to be camping in the woods in the middle of nowhere and suddenly be approached by a random guy asking for things. If you listen closely to what he's saying, some of the guy's sentences are a little
But that's not creepy because there's a fucking trail right there. It looks like people walk that trail daily.
incoherent,
So how's it
and he
creepy?
appears to ramble a bit when he talks,
Let
almost
me
like
know,
he's kind of
bro.
out of it.
Make it make
Later
sense.
in the footage, Gaz reveals that Martin was homeless, and that as they shared their dinner, he
Obviously.
told Gaz his story about how he had ruined his life with drugs, and how he had ended up walking alone in the woods that day. Disturbingly, Gaz also mentioned that while they were having dinner, he turned around for a few seconds to chop some more wood to keep the fire going, and when he turned back around, Martin had left the campsite unannounced without even thanking Gaz for the food. After the strange encounter, the uploader decided to leave the campsite and head home out of fear that the man would possibly tell his friends about meeting some guy camping out in the middle of the woods with expensive filming equipment lying around and suggest robbing him or possibly worse.
Bro.
To see if Martin would
He's
come
smart,
back in the middle of the
Martin,
night
bro.
with possibly ill
Dude's
intentions,
smart.
Gaz actually left a trail camera on the tree at the campsite to capture everything that happened that night. Based on his behavior, it's pretty hard to gauge Martin's intentions and know whether he was just confused and possibly under the influence, or if he had something more sinister planned that evening. Either way, it's probably a good thing that Gaz left the campsite and didn't go back until the next morning, especially since when he did go back, his trail camera that he had left was completely gone.
What? So dude came back
Creepy
and took the camera
Outdoors
and
is a
left.
channel where the uploader frequently shows footage of his nighttime visits to sketchy outdoor locations during all 4 seasons. In October 2022, Creepy Outdoors uploaded a video of a camping trip he took to an unnamed forest in the middle of nowhere, recording everything he saw as he explored some of the surrounding woods in the darkness.
Unnamed
For the first few
forest.
minutes, all you can hear is the guy's breathing.
That shit is
You
not
can't
an
help but be
unnamed
kind of
forest. It
amazed at
gotta
how
be
brave
like
it is
the
to visit a dark
SS
forest in the middle of
forest.
nowhere all alone, not knowing if you're going to run into potentially hostile animals or something else. As the video progresses, the uploader makes a few comments and observations on his surroundings, and throughout the footage there doesn't appear to be anyone else in the forest with him. Around 13 minutes in though, an extremely
shit is
disturbing
super
sound
dark.
takes the footage in a pretty dark direction.
Oh, we saw this one.
Oh, hi.
We saw this one.
What? I need to get out of here.
Nah, really?
Okay. That was creepy. I need to get out of here.
Like
In the distance,
what?
probably a couple of 100 feet away from the uploader, a voice yells, "I see you." It's possible that the disturbing sound was made by a coyote or a fox, but because it sounded so much like "I see you," it could have also been another camper trying to mess with the uploader and scare him. Because the YouTuber had been talking and making noise almost the whole time, he might have inadvertently alerted someone else who may have wanted to play a prank on him just for the fun of it. Still, it's hard to imagine why anyone else would be wandering in the same secluded part of the woods as the uploader. What's most disturbing is that the person or animal or whatever it was that made the noise appeared to yell out right after the guy turned off his lamp, almost as if they were waiting for that to happen to yell out something disturbing. Luckily, the uploader was able to make it back to his campsite safely and has continued uploading outdoor footage to this day.
Okay.
YouTuber from Cleveland, Ohio, who's been uploading videos of his stealth camping trips to his channel, The Northwest Wind, since 2016. For those of you who don't know, stealth camping just means parking your camper van pretty much anywhere without paying for parking, and people do it anywhere from residential neighborhoods to the middle of nowhere. In January 2024, Sam uploaded footage of his stealth camping trip to the woods in Cleveland, leaving his camper van at a local dog park a few hundred yards away. On his way into the woods, he finds a camping tent that's been shredded to pieces, which is honestly a little creepy, but he keeps going anyway. After setting up his tent...
That shit did not look shredded to pieces. It looked like it was under all that other shit. Why are you lying? Chilling scares? Come on, bro. If you ever been to a camping site, and you see some shit like that, you know what actually happened, bro. That shit got buried under all that stuff. They just left their stuff there. They didn't want to pick it up. Some people are lazy while they can't, but hey, man, it happens all the time. Like, what is bro talking about? What is bro talking about?
In the woods, he starts cooking dinner on a camping stove. As the sun starts to set, he sees a couple of people walking by the campsite, and this is when he mentions that he's getting a bad vibe and feels like he's possibly in danger from them. Most experienced campers would probably tell you that if your gut is telling you something's wrong, you should probably call it a day and leave, but Sam decided to stick it out for the night and kept on recording. As soon as he settles down in his tent to get some sleep, things start to get very creepy.
There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent, I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent.
As the seconds pass by, the footsteps outside seem to get louder and louder.
Is this the dude that starts running
At
off?
one point, Sam calls out to whoever's out there, but at first he doesn't get a response. It's only after he calls out for about the 5th time that every camper's worst nightmare starts to become a reality for Sam.
They're walking around outside in circles.
Hello? Hello?
That actually sounds like an animal.
Hello?
But if you watch my other videos, you know it's not.
Hello? Hello? Alright, I'm getting out of here. Hello?
Could also be a ghost too.
Hello? I don't know what this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife.
Where's my knife?
With me.
Like, you can't be so stupid, bro.
Holy
That's
crap.
crazy.
Get away. What do you want?
That's honestly crazy.
Hello? I can't see you. Hello? All right, I'm getting out of here. We're getting out of here.
One thing that a lot of people in the comments of Sam's video have pointed out is that if you're being stalked or attacked by a stranger in the middle of the woods, it's probably not a good idea to show weakness by saying things like, "I can't see you, I'm spooked, and I don't like this." After this, the attackers apparently leave the campsite, but as soon as he steps out of the tent, Sam sees them standing eerily in the woods just a few feet away from him.
They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way.
Probably just fucking
you.
tweakers that just like going
Get
around
away.
doing some random shit.
All right, I'm spooked.
But like I said in my other video, bro, if you are literally spooked, they're probably just as spooked. I'm just saying, they don't know how many people you got with them. But now you know that, now they know it's only one person. Easier to fuck with one person.
They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone!
Completely freaking out after the disturbing encounter, he obviously decides to call it a night and head back to his van in the park, but things only continue to get worse for Sam.
All right, they're moving again. I don't know, I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time. All right, let's get out of here. I'm leaving, don't follow me. I don't know where to go. I don't know which way to get out of here. I smell your cigarette, I can hear you. I hear you.
Always have a plan.
As he's making his way back to the park, he looks back at the campsite and sees the attackers stealing his things, but he decides to leave his stuff behind, terrified for his life. As he's running through the woods now, he turns back and sees his attackers chasing him.
This has got to lead back to the main trail. I don't know where they are. It's all foggy up here. I got water in my headlamp. I don't know where to go. I don't see or hear anybody anymore. I hear them coming.
This dude gets
can't
lucky,
see the
though.
shadow. Here's a path. Okay, get me there. I'm recording all of this. I'm calling up police. All right, I'm back on the path. Back on the path. Okay. Okay.
Dude's out of shape as fuck.
Get away from me!
Come on, kid.
After making it back to his van safely, he drove home and gave his viewers a recap of everything that happened. As you can imagine, a lot of people in the comments accused the uploader of staging the video, mentioning that nobody in their right mind would continue to record as they sprint through the woods in the dark. But his reaction seems pretty genuine to me. Different people act different ways in situations of stress. As for who the two guys who stalked and attacked him were and what they wanted, it's really anyone's guess. If what they did to Sam was some kind of joke, that's a pretty messed up joke to play on someone. But because the uploader confirmed that they didn't end up stealing his stuff when he went back the following morning, it's also clear that looting the campsite wasn't really their main focus. We can't really know what they would have done to him if he hadn't run from the campsite, but at any rate, it's probably a good thing he did.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Run by a guy named Sean, who uploads some pretty cool footage of his solo camping trips everywhere in the UK. In February 2024, he uploaded a video where he left his van on the side of the road next to the woods, and then went to do some exploring, jumping over a fence to walk through the woods. After that, Sean makes his way back to his van to make dinner, where he then heads out once again for an evening stroll through the woods. Upon his return to the van, he goes to bed at about 9 p.m., but at 3 in the morning, things start to get a little disturbing.
All being well, I'll see you in the morning. Good night. A car's just pulled up, and it sounds like they're walking around the van.
As soon as Sean pulls back the curtains, the people who were walking around the van get back in their car. When he put his head out the window to see what was going on, the car drove away, leaving him alone for the rest of the night. It wasn't until the next morning that Sean realized what the visitors had done to his van.
Right, well I think we should at least go outside and see how miserable the weather is. My door's stuck. What the actual...
Nigga, they were fucking with you, bro. That's crazy. But they were trying to break into that shit.
So here's... There's obviously just people wanting to talk about and just be funny, I guess, but how dangerous is that, locking someone in their van? Let me check the back door. Well, there's nothing on this one because they wouldn't have been able to tie it to anything, would they? There's no way they could have done that door anyway.
Why someone would want to lock a stranger in their van is anyone's guess, and the only reasonable explanation I can think of is that maybe they were trying to steal the diesel from the van and put the zip ties on the door in case Sean realized what was happening and attempted to get out to stop them. It could have also been a local who didn't want anyone parking their camping van in that area, but we'll likely never know.
Why would
Luckily,
there be
after
a
he cut the
local
zip
coming
ties
out at
off,
that
he made
night?
it back home
That time
unharmed
of
and has
night.
continued uploading videos of his camping adventures in the UK. .com is a channel dedicated to sharing knowledge about the outdoors and
Got 2 more
encouraging people
minutes
to
of this
explore
video,
the
man.
wilderness. In January 2022, a pretty terrifying video was uploaded to the channel in which a group of teenagers can be seen reacting to some strange sounds coming from somewhere in the woods.
I hear that? Get
The
Trevor.
fuck?
Austin, get the light.
Hey!
That was not an elk.
What the fuck?
Where's that coming from? Get my keys. Oh, get ready. Everybody, get in my truck.
When you're out in the woods in the middle of the night,
That shit is fake as hell. That shit is fake as hell. Everybody get in my truck.
it can be
Like,
easy
what
to
the
mistake
fuck?
certain animal noises with human screams. Foxes, coyotes, and bobcats are all known to make sounds that can sometimes be hard to tell apart from human yelling. But in this case, I don't know of any animal that can make that kind of noise, especially when you consider how loud the banging on the trees was. Elk are known to rub their antlers against trees, but it obviously doesn't sound that loud or menacing. A lot of people in the comments of the video have mentioned that the sounds aren't too different from human screams, and it could have just been a man screaming in the woods in the middle of the night, although that's also pretty messed up in itself. Even though some viewers have claimed the video is staged, the uploader's reactions seem pretty genuine in this case.
No, the
And
fuck
the only
they
thing we can say
don't,
for
bro.
sure is that it's probably a good
They do not seem fucking genuine, bro. Dude was smack him in the face. He's like, Then he's like, fuck that. Oh, let's go. Everybody get in my truck. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all been out here like that reaction video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and that post notification button, man. As always, I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace and love. We out.